Number 19, Caitlin Post. Number 10, Kristen Knight.
Have a good game.
Number 11, George Brendler. Number 4, Alexis Graham. Number 3, Julia Cox. Number 8, Abby Bird. Number starters, number 16, Sarah Hardaway. Number 21, Shauna Brooks. Number 7, Emily Moore. Number 2, Kylie Costa. Number 22, Kirsten Ashline. Number 20, Demi McKinn. Number 6, Sarah Raymond. Number 17, Krista Brady. Number 13, Casey Ryder. Number 15, Lily Allen. Number 18, Katie Becker. The line of the court is Steve Bennett. Now for your Grand March Chazy Eagles. Number 1, Rachel Congarel. Number 11, Katie Tebow. Number 12, Jessica Pierce. Number 13, Rachel Cooper. Number 14, Allie Hayes. Number 17, Miranda Oger. Number 19, Catherine Doyle. Number 22, Michelle Cahoon. Number 23, Stephanie Brownhill. Number 26, Keaton Kozak. Number 28, Abby Stein. We have starters, number 2, Lindsay Hatch. Number 5, Alexis Day. Number 6, Christina Emery. Number 7, Megan Reynolds. Number 2, Catherine Cook. Number 9, Amanda Duffy. Number 10, Amber Pomsky. Number 15, Kirsten Lawrence. Number 20, Daniel Lawrence. Number 21, Kim Latchmore. Number 24, Kim Lapierre. The Eagles are coached by Karen Kerman from Lynn. Please stand for the display of our national anthem.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're here at the George Brendler Field in Chazy for the last league game of the Northern Soccer League Division II matchup. For the girls, we have the Elizabethtown Lions in the green uniforms going from left to right, and the Chazy Eagles in the white uniforms going from right to left. My name is Joe Poisson, and doing the commentating and some play-by-play, and Calvin Castine on the camera from Hometown Cable. Today's date is October 21st, 2011. And tonight is senior night, the last home game that's a league home game that Chazy has, or pretty much anything any school has now. It's called senior night, and this is it here for the Chazy Eagles. And I'll go right down the list of seniors here before a whole lot of action starts, hopefully. We have Christina Emery, she's a senior. Catherine Took, the goalkeeper. Amanda Kempinen. Katie Tebow. Joey Cooper, Kirsten Dorn, Miranda Osher, Catherine Gravel, and Caitlin Lapierre are the seniors from the Chazy Eagles having a little presentation here at halftime. And I don't know, I think you're going to be filming that, Calvin, or possibly as much as you can. So they do that on the opposite side of the field, so Calvin really can't get a...
We did it on this side last night.
He did, okay, so that's good. Maybe the girls will do it here also, but...
We'll see.
That's a good thing if you can get it for, as Joey likes to call him now, my usual partner Joey Trombley is not available this evening. Mara, his daughter, has a soccer game herself, so saving for some hometown treasures. We'll be speaking about that a little bit later, but right now we're going to get to some action for the E-Town Lions. We have Coach Steve Denton, and for the Chazy Eagles, we have fourth-year coach Karen Sherman Trombley, with having a lot of success here in the girls program. Karen Trombley is, and the girls definitely respond in a positive manner to her. And it really doesn't seem like she's been here for 4 years already, Calvin.
No.
You know, it seems like she just got here. But she's doing a great job with these ladies. Got one state championship, several regionals, and state finalists a few times. So the girls do listen to her, and she does know what she's doing. She's a very, very good coach. But getting over back to the Elizabethtown Lions, a couple of their players to watch. Normally some of the high scorers is Kylie Cassavon, number 2, and Emily Morris, number 9. They're their big guns, and Chazy counters that with the great Caitlin Lapierre. And right here, Kirsten Dorn, another goal scorer. Coach Trombley has moved her up from the sweeper position to the midfield, and she's responded very well. She's one of the high scorers in the area, along with Caitlin Lapierre. And here's another one that's in the white is Kempinen. Amanda Kempinen having another great season. I'm going to start doing a little bit play-by-play now. There's just some of the players to watch. And Catherine Took in goal for the Eagles has had a phenomenal career here in Chazy. And Jenny McGinn is between the posts for the visiting Elizabethtown Lions. And Elizabethtown comes right down and they get a quick corner kick. Nice service by number 9 Morris. Being challenged by 24 Lauren. Lauren goes wide in the field on the far side. Christina Emery giving chase, goes off her foot, and will be an out of bounds. Quick throw in for the Lions, or it should be. The officials for this evening are Jerry Kowalowski and Dennis Labarge. This field is very, very damp, and that's being generous, Calvin. As you can tell when you're, moist. Okay, as it was last night for the boys' senior night against Westport. Chazy is undefeated in league play, and overall they are 14-1. In league play, the Elizabethtown Lions are 9-4, and they're 10-5 overall. So they've had a successful year also. Chazy's in the usual spot on the top of the pile under Coach Trombley. And there's Alexis Gay, number 5, going over to the middle of the field, over to Kirsten Dorn, 15 for the Eagles. Dorn still has a little bit of space, not really being challenged. Goes wide to Emery in the corner. Emery lays a beautiful service to the top of the box, and Lapierre tries to kick one in backwards. Goes off the defender. Kempinen trying to get a foot on it. Cleared out by the defense. Chazy still trying to put a little pressure on Alexis Gay. Scrambling for the ball. She goes... Ooh, Rachel Pomeroy, number 1, goes down. Or excuse me, that would be Megan Reynolds. I'm used to seeing Megan back in the sweeper spot, but Coach Trombley has decided to move her in the midfield next to Dorn. And 18, Decker, being challenged by Kempinen. Kempinen does a good job, or Kinnan Latimer does a good job. Well, he does a great job, actually, getting that ball and bouncing it off Decker. Kempinen, a couple moves, gups up to Reynolds at the middle of the field. Intercepted by 16, Harwood. Harwood comes over to Decker. Decker trying to put a move on Lattimore. Lattimore playing another good defensive run here. Goes off her foot, and there will be a quick throw-in for Elizabethtown. We have 34-35 left here in the first half. No score. Decker with a throw-in, goes off the head of Lattimore. Alexis Gay hits it up to Kempinen. And 13, Ryder sends it into the box, and Took comes up with that one cleanly. Took letting your team get a little time to set up. Both teams just fighting for the ball, and Hannah Lauren, the speedster for the Eagles, Oh, nice move by Lauren. Lauren looking over here for, keep trying to think that Reynolds is in the back. That is Reynolds. And Christine Emery for the Eagles. Trying to serve it in. Nice service, actually. Really nice and clean. And Lapeer trying to back pass, but the moistness of the field prevented that. And Doran on the top of the box with it. Oh, my. And that was a really good save by McGinn to pull that one off. As you can see, she is slip sliding and splashing all over the place, and she's going to be one cold young lady before this game is over if she keeps going to the ground like that. She already just got coated with Chazy mud. But that was a good flurry of activity by Chazy. Alexis Kay wisely back passes to Lindsay Hack, who is now in the sweeper position. And Kempinen back to Hack. Boy, you can see that ball. That could be a contributing factor definitely in this game if the score stays low scoring. So quick throw in for Latrimore. Gets Dorn. One of the standout seniors, Kirsten Dorn. She's had a wonderful career in Chazy. And bumped off the ball by Brooks. Brooks doing a good job defending against Dorn. Dorn staying tough with the play. And it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick for the Lions. And a goal kick, and Doran heads it back in, trying to find Lauren. Lauren comes up with the ball. Lauren at the top of the box with a lot of space. She can drive it from there. Oh, yeah, the beautiful shot for Hannah Lauren. And it looks like McGinn might have slipped on a play, but I doubt she would have had much of one to play on that ball. A great shot by Hannah Lauren, and the assist to Kirsten Dorn, it looked like, got the assist with exactly 32 minutes left in the first half. We'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back to action. Chazy with a quick goal in the first 8 minutes of this first half, making it 1-0 on a beautiful shot by Hannah Lauren and a good feed by Kirsten Dorn. Chazy Eagles moving the ball well. You see it is slippery, very wet. The ball just went off the foot of Kempinen. And 13 Ryder with a throw-in, trying to find Decker. She does. Decker trying to put a move, and she's being challenged by Alexis Gay. Alexis Gay does a good job coming over to defend to create a throw-in for Elizabethtown. Chazy already with 5 shots, and Elizabethtown with 1. With 31-15 left in the first half. Decker with the throw-in. Trying to find anybody. Well defended by the Eagles, and they do get it out. Lauren loses the ball. Cannot see the number of the young lady with it, but she made a nice play on it for the Lions. And Lauren with a good hustle here in the near side. Still hustle, being challenged by 6 Wimmet, and Wimmet comes up with that one, and controlled by Kempinen. Kempinen trying to serve it in the center, and kicked, looks like out of bounds by the defense of Elizabethtown, and Kenan Lattimore, 21 with the Eagles, with a throw and finding Lapeer. Lapeer with wisely back passes. Nice job. That was a good pass actually by Lattimore, trying to find the center, trying to find Megan Reynolds. There is a rather size differential in these ladies, Calvin. I'm looking out there. Chazy is much larger than the Lions as far as size. And whether that'll be a factor out in the middle of the field, it'll definitely be a factor in any kind of corner kicks or head ball. But right here, number 2, Casabal with a shot, but as right at took. Elizabethtown looking good right after getting scored on.
So is Joe Pusson saying the Chazy girls are a lot heavier than Elizabethtown? That Joe Pusson saying?
That's Calvin putting words into somebody's mouth. They are a lot larger. They are taller. They're bigger. There's hands down. You can look at that and see it. And during the course of a game, when you're slip sliding in that mud, some strength will come into play, and like you're going into head balls from corner kicks and stuff like that. If you're taller, you definitely have an advantage.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity to clarify that statement.
Actually, I think you were trying to muddy it up, Calvin. But that's I am used to that working with Joey, and you are taking his spot rather well here this evening. We have a pretty good brisk wind coming from our left to right, from the west to the east. Now, if Joey was here, he would be arguing with us, saying it's from the north, but that's fine.
He'd pull out his BlackBerry.
Yes, he would, and his apps and whatever these other fancy things that he can dig out. But it is a pretty stiff wind. And Chazy is actually playing into that wind right now in this first half. And 13 Ryder with a throw-in, trying to find 8 Berto. And that's going to be a high kick called against Kempinen for Chazy. So good chance here for a set play, a set piece for Elizabethtown. Being slippery, they should put some shots right on goal and maybe get anything happen. Number 15 Whalen with the set piece kick. She delivers a nice one on top of the box. And Chazy controls. Lauren doing a good job trying to get it out. But 18 Decker challenging for it, and goes off the foot of Kempinen on this near side. And 13 Ryder again with a throw in for Elizabethtown. Trying to find 8 Berto, being challenged by Kinnan Lattimore. It goes off the foot of Berto. Lattimore is going to get a throw in here with 27-29 in the first half. And Chazy up 1-0 on a beautiful goal by Hannah Orrin and a great feed by Kirsten Dorn. And Dorn, that's what she tries to do. They do spread the field very well, Chazy. Coach Trombley has been impressed by their passing as of late. Some of the moves that she has done. And we have number 1, Rachel Pombrio, getting ready to check into the game, and 13 Jory Cooper for Chazy Eagles. And Lindsay Hack with the kick. Ball kind of going around in the middle of the field, and number 2 Casva controls it for Elizabethtown, but it goes right to the foot of Gay for the Eagles. Over the far side to Reynolds. Reynolds goes up the line with it, and Christine Emery makes a beautiful service trying to find Caitlin Lapierre, who has had a phenomenal year once again. It seems like she is involved in a very high percentage of the Chazy goals. And Lapierre for the Eagles. Get a quick break. Good corner kick. Oh, nice save by McGinn, going down again. I hope that young lady brought some warm, dry clothes for the ride home. I know when the boys played Ogdensburg here a few weeks ago for Alumni Day, how sloppy it was. Rachel Pombrio with a great service across the box, and Cooper just missed that one and defended well by the Lions and kicked out of bounds. Great chance right off for the 2 substitutes, but Mr. Norcross and Mr. McAuliffe let the boys go, the Augsburg boys go swimming and taking a shower after, because it was bitter cold, Calvin.
Yeah.
And it's a couple hour drive, so pretty nice of them to do that. Of course, I think you're a lot nicer when you win 5-0. Another quick shot by Chazy.
Imagine letting them shower first. I
would think so. Oh, darn cold. And headed by 19 Coates. And she controls. Being challenged by Kempinen. Kempinen doing a good job containing. And it goes off the foot of Coates. And Kempinen with the throw-in, trying to find Cooper. Being challenged by number 6 Wimett. Off Wimett. And then Amanda Kempinen will get another quick throw-in. Here in the near side. Trying to find Dorn. Dorn being challenged by 21 Brooks. Good job by Brooks, just container, not letting it turn, but Chazy does get the quick throw in. Kempinen finding Rachel Pombrio, number 1, the quick substitute. I think Rachel Pombrio is only a freshman, having a good season. Coach Trombley has a lot of faith in her and trust in her, putting her in there, and that's pretty good for a freshman. I believe the Eagles have already wrapped up the division. So this game is more for pride than anything. And Elizabethtown is in third place behind Lake Placid, but I don't know if Lake Placid is a D or a C in girls, Calvin. Do you know?
I believe they're a C, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. So they might be playing for a spot for the playoffs that will be coming up next week. Chazy will get a first round bye, and a nice service right there by Lindsay Hack right to Cooper. Cooper did a good job receiving that. Now goes to Latchmore for the Eagles. Latchmore trying to find somebody, and the ball just kind of stops in front of him again, and she reaches down and gets a quick kickoff. Goes in the middle of the field off the head of Kempinen, and Dorn, oh my, that hurt number 16 Harwood to win against Dorn, and Dorn, good being a good sport, come over and ask her if she's okay. Nice service by E-Town, and Decker giving chase, and Hack wisely kicks the ball out of bounds because she had Decker all over her. Decker has some good speed. We have 22:42 left here in the first half. Chazy up 1-0. 21, Brooks trying to control it and goes off her on the far side, and it's going to be Chazy throwing. Substitute Caitlin Lapierre, the senior, going back in. And coming out the field, Christina Emery. Good give and goes here by Chazy. Kempinen getting in on the action. Good feed starting back there from Lauren. And nice work by Kempinen on the baseline. And Rachel Palmerio getting off a quick shot, but it just goes wide. And another goal kick for Elizabethtown. Chazy right now has 8 shots. Elizabethtown 2. Good job by Dorn. Caitlin Lapierre being challenged by 21 Brooks. Caitlin Lapierre putting on some clever footwork, trying to find Dorn. That's intercepted. Good work by 19 Coates. Oh, nice work by Cassava. Back to 21 Brooks. Elizabethtown, sometimes they look like they can pass. They're a decent passing team. They can't sustain it for a long time, but they do. They're getting some good looks. You know, they can pass the ball. They move well without the ball. I've noticed that they're not a bad team at all. Like I said, they are in 3rd place in Division II in the Northern Soccer League, so they've won way more than they've lost, and there's a reason for that. And good off the foot of 13 Ryder, and Kempinen with a quick throw in for Chazy. And Wimett kicks the ball downfield, and that goes out of bounds, and Kenna Lattimore for the Eagles will quickly throw it into Dorn. Dorn being challenged by Brooks, and she back passes to Alexis Gay. Alexis Gay trying to go in the middle of the field, trying to find Megan Reynolds. And Brooks won that battle, but Chazy's still trying to regain control, and they do with Dorn getting it. It goes off the foot of Brooks and back into the Chazy zone. Polomsky in that far side doing some good footwork. And Alexis Gay just boots it down in the end, and Alexis Gay comes up with the ball again, goes wide on the far side, trying to find Cooper. It does go wide. Quick Elizabethtown throw in with 19:12 left of the first half. Excuse me. 21 Brooks with the ball. And serving it back to Whalen. for Elizabethtown, trying to get something together. Good footwork right here. Good speed by Dorn. Trying to find Lapeer. Lapeer does a nice, clever little back pass to herself and goes over to Amanda Kempinen. Being challenged, and will be a quick Chazy throw-in with substitution going in. Hannah Lauren, opportunity for the first few seconds she was in there, her and Jory Cooper. And Latrimore involved in the offense. Ball comes down. And number 9, Morris, some good speed, kicks the ball downfield, and Lindsay Hack easily gets that one. Ooh, Lindsay Hack kicks it out of bounds, and Elizabethtown throwing. And substitution going in for Elizabethtown. Napper going in, and looks like 19 Coates coming out. The first matchup between these two teams early in the season, Chazy came out a 3-0 victor down in Elizabethtown.
Good hustle, good hustle.
And right now it is 1-0 with 17:15 left in the first half. Chazy. Hack trying to find Lauren, and Lapeer comes up with the ball for Chazy. Nice pass by Lapeer to Lauren, and they do have numbers if they can get some speed going, which they all do have up in that front line. Nice move by Lapeer once again. Lapeer servicing the ball into the middle and just kicked downfield. Chazy does retain possession after a couple of Elizabethtown players, and Lauren with another shot. And McGinn comes off our line to get that one. Another shot for Chazy. That is their 9th shot so far in this first half. They've been getting the better of the Lions so far, and a good head by Reynolds on the far side, and Hannah Lauren giving chase, and Whalen kicks it up, but that's intercepted by Reynolds. Good defense right there by Elizabethtown, but it does go out of bounds on the far side, and it will be a Chazy throw-in. Number 19 Coates ready to get checked back into the game for Elizabethtown. Cooper with a throw-in. And Polomsky just pounds one back in top of the box. Kind of a miss kick, and she better not play around too much with that ball down there with the quickness of the Chazy girls. And Lindsay Hack comes wide to the near side, and she does get it up to Kempinen. Kempinen being challenged, and it's a good job right there by 13 Ryder. Wow.
Don't hesitate, you gotta come hard to it.
And Lattimore brings it up to the field, or kicks it up to the field, and Lapeer for Chazy retains possession, gets it back to Dorn. Dorn trying to find Reynolds. Megan Reynolds with the ball. She's being challenged by a couple of players, and a nice little pass from Reynolds over to Caitlin Lapeer. Ball on top of the box, and Kempinen lets go with a shot. And McGinn with another fine save going down into the, we won't even say dirt, we're just going to say mud. It's going to be interesting to see if there's supposed to be some Class B boys, well, probably girls games too, sectional games, so it'll be interesting. Right now, Elizabethtown making a run over on the far side. Defended well by Chazy, but it will be an Elizabethtown throw-in. And number 19 going back into the game is Coates. But they're supposed to be playing some sectional games here, Calvin, and we have been here in the past. It's been a little bit even more than what you called moist earlier, so hopefully this field they can snap it back into shape. Because it will be taking place in about a week. I don't know exactly how many games are scheduled for here, but probably be a boys and a girls, at least one matchup, usually, or one night, usually 2 games. So we will see if they will play them. Last year they had to move the games to Sable due to field conditions, and unfortunately this year has been a wet fall also. after a terribly wet spring and a beautiful summer and a wet fall, this cycle's right back into where it's supposed to be, wet. Well, we have 13 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. Chazy and Elizabethtown, senior night. Both teams still playing hard. Elizabethtown, they're dangerous, and they have speaking to Coach Decker before the game, and they have a young team. They have only a couple of seniors who are actually starting, so they do have a young team, and that's probably why I was mentioning the size difference earlier. But they are young.
Sounds like the wind is picking up out there.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, and that flag is just about at a 90-degree angle. Oh, and Kempinen hits a deck. Wow. That's where you don't stop. That was a great work by Kempinen. Got knocked to the mud. She didn't look around for a pity party. She got back up. I think Elizabethtown was looking for a foul on that one also, because they just stopped playing. Kempinen didn't, and that's why it was great play by Kempinen, getting knocked down in the box. And I think Elizabethtown thought they were going to be called for a foul, and Kempinen didn't wait for a whistle. Smart play by Kempinen. We're back to action. Chazy up 2-0 against Elizabethtown on some great individual work by Amanda Kempinen. And number 7, Megan Reynolds, is going to get the assist on that. But that's why you do not stop and look around for a pity party or anything. She just showed you why. Oh, Chazy heard another chance. Kempinen just wide. That close to getting her second goal within about 30 seconds. We have 12 minutes and 6 seconds left here in the first half. Kempinen almost with a couple of quick goals. She would like that one back, but that first one she scored was a beauty. Just good, hard work. And her mom will be soaking that uniform for quite a while before it will come out white. Yeah, that wind is picking up, Calvin. You can hear it. You hear it. The trees and leaves are falling now, big time. It is fall. Oh, nice pass here for Elizabethtown, and Hack kicks the ball right out of bounds. They'll be careful of Elizabethtown. They're looking for that long strike, and they actually have some young ladies who can move. You notice Morris, Casava, they have some good speed. Decker has good speed, so Chazy will have to watch that. Defensive end. And number 7 for the Eagles, Reynolds, going on the far side, trying to find Lapeer, and goes out of bounds. And 16, Harwood, will take the throw in. Nice throw in, actually, by Harwood, going down the line. And Amber Polomsky on the far side, defending well for Chazy. Goes out of bounds. And they're going to call a foul.
Out too.
Yes, it is. It's not bad being up here, is it? Excuse me. Nobody on top of the box. Nobody running. Doran trying to get there. And kicked in by Christina Emery. And a water-aided assist to the keeper, McGinn. Just kind of slowed it down. McGinn with a goal kick, and Alexis Kay just overshoots that a little bit. Kinnan Latrimore goes over to Reynolds. Reynolds one times at the far side, trying to find Polomsky. In 19, Coates challenging for it. That will go off Polomsky, and it'll be a throw-in for Elizabethtown. Down 2-0 with 9 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first half. They are still playing hard. You got to give the Lions credit. They're going to bring everybody up. There's some umbrellas across the way in the stands. And we have an injury, and they will stop the clock And we'll be back in a moment. All right, back to action after an injury to 19 Coates for Elizabethtown. A couple substitutions going in for Chazy. She's getting some of the seniors in because it is senior night. Catherine Gravel going in. Katie Tebow. Sorry, Katie. Katie Tebow going in, and Miranda Osher. And we have just about 9 minutes left here in the first half. Chazy up 2-0 on a couple of beautiful goals, actually. Some good hard work on that second goal by Kempinen. And a great shot by Lauren for the first score. The first one was assisted by Dorn, and the second one was assisted by Megan Reynolds. Oh, darn. Thanks for that cough drop, Calvin. It really worked. Yeah, I think they make you cough. Coming out with a nasty cold, it feels like. Oh, good work on that far side. And another Mud-aided assist to McGinn. That ball does just stop. Again, she has a nice punt. And goes off the foot of Cassava, or off her body, I should say. Cassava was being challenged, but Decker challenging Dorn. Dorn goes back to Osher. Osher up to Gravel. Gravel puts out a clever little move. Trying to go down the line, trying to find Lauren. Lauren does save it, going right back to Gravel, and it goes off the foot of 13 for the Lions rider. And Catherine Gravel will be taking this throw in. Hannah Lauren coming out for a well-deserved rest for Chazy.
7:20.
And a discrepancy on the clock. And kicked away downfield by number 6, Wemmitt. Controlled by Lindsay Hack. Off the foot of 13, the rider.
You don't know how to change it?
Good work by Caitlin Lapierre. She has one to beat, but good defensive play by 17 Grady to stop Lapierre. Lapierre does retain possession. Lapierre takes a long shot, a little wide and short. McGinn easily gets that one. Kind of slogging through the mud, trying to get a dry spot to punt that ball so she does not slip, and it's a pretty wise decision on her part. Quick throw in from Emery to Lapierre. Lapierre being challenged by Grady, and Lapierre trying to service it, but kicked out by Coates, who's back in the game. I'm glad to see she came back in from that injury. And Alexis Gay, challenged by Cassava. Cassava, number 9, Morris, trying to get something going, but Chazy's defense comes through once again. Katie Tebow kicking that ball out of bounds. 6 minutes and 12 seconds left first half. On senior night at the George Brendler Field. October 21st, 2011. It's not a bad crowd here, Calvin, actually, for kind of a miserable night for this game. It's good to see. A lot of the boys are over there rooting their teams on. The boys' teams being represented well, showing their support, and Megan Reynolds has one to beat. And Megan Reynolds gets a great service in, and wow. And it goes right to the foot of Catherine Gravel. Catherine Gravel was thwarted, and the ball's kind of still stopping out there in Mudville. And 21 for the Lions Brooks. Challenged by Dorn. Dorn does get possession of it. Dorn looking for Alexis Gay in the middle of the field, but Cooper has her eye on the ball. She does come up with it. Cooper over to Reynolds. Back to Cooper. Cooper also can score. She has a good shot. She can take one. Oh. And again with another save. Chazy has 16 shots on goal in his first half. Only 2 goals to show for it. But Miranda Osher for the Eagles. Lets the ball go out of bounds. Takes a throw and going up to Gravel. Gravel back to Osher. Osher gets a foot on it. Trying to find Gravel, and Alexis Gay. Got a little bit of mispass from her. Goes to 13 Ryder. She sends it in the middle.
Good job, Miranda. Good job.
And it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Elizabethtown throw, and ready to check in for the Eagles, 28 Abby Snide. Miranda Osher goes off her foot. And Lindsay Hack trying to give chase, but it will be a corner kick for Elizabethtown with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. We have a shivering Abby Snide ready to check into the game. It looks cold there, Calvin.
Let's get out there and warm up.
Yes. Do some stretching. And Morris getting a good service into the box, but well defended by Chazy. Good job of not letting that ball land, and Grady for Elizabethtown being challenged by Lapeer. Lapeer wins that battle. And Grady still after, but Lapeer still retains possession. And number 6 for Elizabethtown, Wemmitt gets it up to number 2, Cassava. Cassava with some good skills, goes to the center of the field, but Katie Tebow for the Eagles gets it out. And Christina Emery giving chase on the far side. Goes off the foot of the defender for Elizabethtown, and it's going to be a Chazy throw-in. A shivering Abby Snide going in, going to get a little action. And Alexis Gay coming off. Oh, nice move by Lapeer. She has all kinds of good moves. She's like a magician. Ooh, a great cross from Reynolds. A really good cross, and McGinn did a good job getting a hand on that, because that ball has to be slippery. Chazy's had several opportunities to really put this game away, but they have the 2-goal advantage, 2-0, with, well, probably less than 2 minutes left. Excuse me. A booming kick downtown from the Elizabethtown defense. Lindsay Hack with all kinds of time. Steve Patno, the photographer for the yearbook of Chazy, getting some pictures of the young ladies down in the booth. Olivia Seymour, and normally it is Miss Ledoux that's down there, but she's missing tonight, and Adriana Kucher is taking her spot. So Abby Ledoux is out of the picture, and she's been doing a good job keeping score for everybody. 18 Decker does get the ball, and Osher. Good defense by Osher.
8 seconds different.
And Cassava for Elizabethtown beats Osher on the end line, challenged by Hack, and kicked out by Tebow.
Nice job, Catherine, come on!
And it goes off the foot of number 9, Morris, or excuse me, number 6, Wemmitt. And Catherine Gravel with a throw-in for Chazy. Brooks heads it. It will be a dangerous play called against Chazy. Good spot here for Elizabethtown to get something going. Oh, a nice service by Whalen, and that. Luckily that was wide, because that was a goal if she would have put that on net. And Chazy dodged bullet here at the end with a blistering shot by Whalen to end this half. We will be back in a moment.
And the 9 of them were playing modified, JV, or varsity. Coach Brendler would like to extend a huge thank you to all parents for their support these years, traveling to all the games, dinners, and volunteering when needed. Our seniors have been a huge part of the success of our program. All of them have been to a Final Four many times. These 9 seniors have been a part of our soccer family. They will be greatly missed, and we wish great success in your next adventure. Our 2011 seniors are Miranda Ozier, and her parents are Christine and Tom. T.D. Tebow is the daughter of Alicia and Tom Tebow. Catherine Gravel, and she is the daughter of John and Michelle Gravel. Christina Emery and her parents are Randy and Kathy. Jory Cooper and her parents are Mary and Dwayne. Amanda Kempton and her parents are Todd and Yo Kempman. And Catherine Tick and her parents are Robin and Bill. Captain Kristen Doran and her parents Carrie and Tina. And lastly, Captain Caitlin Lapierre and her parents Julie and Kat.
And just in case you're counting at home, there is one viewer patron family out of the senior girls' families tonight. One is a whole lot better than none. Well, Joe the Fish Poisson is over getting his Mickey fries, and he hasn't made it back yet. I hear somebody on the steps, so hopefully that's him. Welcome back, Joe.
Hey, thank you, Cal. Let's bring Mom her dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Got me a little order of fries. I'll even share them with you.
No, thank you. I had my weekly quota last night.
Okay. They were good too. They usually are. You want Mickey fries? Chazy back at it. They were kind of fortunate to not get scored upon just before the half. They were Whalen, which had a set piece, and the ball went wide, luckily for Chazy. The Eagles did score 2 goals to get advantage in the first half. A couple of nice goals. McGinn is she's covered with mud, that Elizabethtown keeper. And I should have spoke to Catherine on the way by, but I didn't get a chance to. Catherine took because, as Calvin said, it is moist. Nice ball by Doran over to Latimer on this near side. Nice service by Lapierre over to Lauren, just goes wide. I'm going to try to bring it back into Kempany. Notice that Coach Tremblay keeps Latimer on this side. Even the last game I was here, Latimer plays, left defense going from right to left, and she plays right defense going from left to right. I don't know if she favors this side for comfort or what, but I do notice Latrimore is always in the picture, which is a good thing. She's a good defender, but she does not keep her in either the right or the left spot. She does move her.
Well, she knows that the Latrimores are long-time supporters of Hometown Cable, so she keeps her.
That is possible.
Camera.
Yes, it is. Anything for ratings, Calvin? You know what you do. Nice corner kick. Look at another one. That wind has not let up, Calvin, and I walked outside and it is cold.
Stopped raining though.
Yes, it did, luckily, but it got cold. No, beautiful kick from Reynolds. Defended well by Elizabethtown. During this possession comes over to Lattimore. Lattimore slides one into the box.
Nice try, kid.
And McGinn comes up with another save for Elizabethtown. Chazy now has 19 shots on goal in this game. This is the second half. And we have not done an appeal for donations yet to save Hometown Treasures. Calvin, I'd like to do that now because Calvin does own the station. He runs it. He does pretty much everything except for out-talk Joey Trombley. And it's his livelihood, and Calvin's been doing this for 28 years. And over the years he has countless priceless, things on film and video, and now he's putting them all on DVD. They're on the internet, and just solicit some donations. That's how he does make his living. It is viewer-supported network. You can send this to 1477 Ridge Road, Champlain, New York 12919, or you can go online to hometowncable.org. Is it?
Hometown Cable Network.
Hometowncablenetwork.com or Plattsburgh.com, and it will take you right there. You can donate using a credit card, PayPal, and any donation, no matter how small, is appreciated by Calvin to keep this operation going, because his expenses are going up just like everybody else's. And I do know there are a lot of people who do watch the programming, and your donations would definitely be appreciated. So maybe Calvin can double my pay next year.
Again?
Yes. Well, it's in the contract. But it's, he provides a valuable service. Just recently they added one talking business with Joey Trombley, talking to some local businesses here in the area. Oh, nice shot. Good shot. Nice ball by Reynolds over to Dorn. It's just another service Calvin provides as far as advertising to these local small businesses. Excuse me. And he's, like I said, he's been doing this for 28 years, and all these excuse me, memories. I do have a cold. All these memories are on online, and anybody can have access to them. And it is a fun thing to go and watch, especially when you've been around as long as I have, and few decades ago. Calvin used to film us when we were playing softball at the Bull Mart. I don't even know how many years it's been since they've had games there, so it's been a lot of fun being up here in the booth with them, going back watching these kids. It's also a pretty good tool if you're a player, or you can actually watch how you do. You get online. And unfortunately, if you're a coach, you can scout Chazy or Northeastern too, so those people should definitely send donations if you are out of the area scouting these teams. But it is fun to watch yourself in 10 years' time. You may not think so now when you're landing on your butt, but another 10 years you'll be laughing at it with everybody else. Believe me, it's funny. Oh, nice shot from Emery. Chazy putting some good pressure on Elizabethtown here with 32:18 left in the second half at senior night, October 21st, 2011. So that's hometownnetwork.com.
Hometown Cable.
Hometown Cable Network. Now, how did you get affiliated with Plattsburgh.com?
Oh, a couple of years ago, my buddy Rick Knowles contacted me, and he works for Brian McBride over at the Bill McBride Chevrolet, and Brian McBride owns Plattsburgh.com, and they were interested in seeing if we're interested in putting up some of the videos. So I said, certainly, but I also want my own website at the same time, so Brian helped me set that up, and videos are on both. When we send them up, we send them to both sites. Right now, as of today, we've got 6,760 something.
Wow. Now, and that's not all of them, is it?
No.
Now, approximately, I know it's high. Approximately, how many pieces of footage do you actually have? You can't say how many hours because each one is different, of course. But how many different pieces of footage do you think you have?
I'm guessing at least 12,000.
12,000 different pieces of footage, different games, different interviews over the years with Bob Venn and Gordy Little, and all these sporting events, the softball, baseball, volleyball games are covering now, and it is a treat really to watch. That's a lot.
Yeah,
It is a lot.
Today I put up a couple of games from 1989 with my distant cousin, the late Dick Letourneau, Butterball, doing the play-by-play up at Northeastern.
Neat.
It's just Dick's long gone, but what a sportsman he was. And he organized that Lake Champlain League and had that great Father's Day tournament there for so many years.
Yes, you did at the Bull Mart.
Yeah.
Wow. That is good. Brings back good memories. It really does.
And we get people from all across the country that have discovered it and watched themselves and enjoy it.
Oh, wow. Now, you mentioned recently you were down at Northeastern Clinton School in the trophy case.
Right.
And that brought some memories back to you.
Oh, definitely.
And those are good. That's good, and that is going to be on Hometown.
This weekend.
It will be on this weekend. Good.
But it's on the website.
And the schedules for Hometown Cable are in the Press Republican every week.
And in the Islander.
And is there North Countryman also?
I sent them to them, but they haven't put them in.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll see this. Maybe they'll start. But that is nice to see those things. It's pretty neat. Go back and get some of the old timers, and you can see the sparkle in their eyes still, and when they talk about their stuff. I remember Joey's father. Now, who are those other gentlemen that were with him? They were funny talking about the bootlegging. I remember that one distinctly. And I said, "Wow, they were."
We did 2 shows with him. It was Orville Trombley, Joey's father, and my uncle, Ed Favreau, and I'm going to have to think of his name later.
That's okay.
Frankie Manette.
Okay.
Manette.
Yes.
And
boy, they had some stories. Those characters.
Had some stories. The second show we did, we had Leo Neverett driving the limousine.
Yes, that's right. Well, here comes Elizabethtown with a decent chance.
And they stopped. One of the stops we made was at my home, where the bootleggers hid when my father was a kid, and they would hide in the barn, and they had a place in my old shed that's been cemented over now since we did the show, but that was a place where they'd hide some booze once in a while. And
they hid it all over.
Yeah.
But that was interesting.
And of course, whenever people talk to me and say they have a favorite show, 9 times out of 10 it's the same show, and that's Jimmy Misek.
Oh, Mr. Misek, yes. And you put that on every year right around Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving Day, yes.
You know, He was great. Great interview. And that is a classic. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, wow, who's this guy? And just watching it and just listening to him, he's a very interesting man.
Yeah, the man was a genius.
Yes, he was.
You wouldn't have known it, you wouldn't have suspected it.
No.
But, you know,
No, he was a genius without a classical education. No doubt. Very talented man, very handyman, fix and repair and make anything.
And analyze stuff. He ran an entire sawmill with probably 20 pieces of equipment off one single bar. One single bar running through the middle, and run pulleys off that. And each pulley had to be different. Each belt had to be different with the different speeds of the different machines, and he could figure it out.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're going to be putting that on again this Thanksgiving. So.
Yep.
And then what's good about now these games here? You're doing this program now. This will be on in approximately 2 weeks. Do you figure?
Right now we're running about
hometown cable channel.
2 weeks. Yeah.
About 2 weeks. But these games next day you will have these up online, so which is really good. And it's a nice feature that you can do. Now you put those up yourself now?
Oh yeah.
You put them right online yourself, right on your site. Okay. Because I do see Robbie Knoll's name up on a lot of the you do the car racing down at Airborne Speedway.
Yep.
Do that. Excuse me. Another good chance for Elizabethtown, and Kenna Lattimore goes wide with it. Elizabethtown definitely not laying down here in the second half. No scoring in the second half so far. Chazy is up 2-0 on 2 first half goals. Both teams trying to create something here in the second half, but no luck. That was a pretty good crash between Laura and Ryder. And Grady being challenged by Lapeer. Lapeer using some speed and skill comes up with the ball. She has a little bit of space. Lapeer still with the ball.
Way to work, Kate!
And Whalen comes up and bangs that one downtown. And Lindsay Hack being challenged by number 9, Emily Morris, and it goes off her foot. It's going to be a Chazy throw-in with Amanda Kempen. Actually, Amanda Kempen is coming out. And Latrimore, speedy freshman for the Eagles, and real good defender. They throw in, and Elizabethtown will get a throw-in on the near side with 24:05 left in the second half. Now, how many more segments do you think you're going to be doing of the businesses, for the local businesses? Would you enjoy? You're going to run out of them? I don't think it won't be anytime soon. Because you were just, yeah, really. Oh, nice little pass from Lapeer trying to find Rachel Pombrio, and she does. Pombrio with a shot from the top of the box, and it rolls to the hands of McGinn easily. That was a good pass from Lapeer. One of my favorites was Johnny Padres. You did Johnny Padres. It was just interesting. When I used to like baseball, I was a Dodgers fan, of course, and I do remember hearing about Johnny Padres, and just you did a great interview with him. He had a lot of good stories too.
Went down to his home and sat in his living room.
Excuse me.
Sat in Johnny's living room, and it just was a fun show to do. I invited Shan Moore to come along so she could get a little story for the Press Republican.
That's great. How long had he'd been retired from active baseball now? He wasn't just a player; he was also a coach for many years. Yes. I was fortunate one time to get a picture of him and an autograph of Johnny Padres, and I still have that. I will definitely hang on to that for ever, But I do.
He's going to be around a long time.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind, actually. As long as I can keep hanging out with decent people, it's not a bad thing. that was one of my favorites. You interviewed people up and down, well, Essex County. Where's the farthest you have gone to do a, to cover a story? Where's the farthest you've gone? You've done soccer. You went all the way to Maine.
Yeah.
And what did you go up there for?
A fellow named Ozzie Sweet.
Ozzie Sweet?
Ozzie Sweet, a photographer. And back when Miramar Shopping Center was operating in Champlain, there was a bookstore there, and I picked up this book, and it was Ozzie Sweet photos, and I discovered that this guy who grew up in New Russia and went to school in Elizabethtown was a world famous photographer. He would, too long ago, before you were born, there was a magazine called Sport Magazine that came out monthly, and he did most of their covers. That's in the 50s.
I remember that magazine.
Yeah, in fact, Sport used to give the MVP of the World Series a Corvette, and Johnny Padres won the Corvette back in '55. Anyway,
cool.
Ozzie was a world famous photographer. He took pictures of people like Albert Einstein, and you name it, he took their picture. But he loved sports. He was because of his photography, he was a friend of Mickey Mantle and Billy Martin and then all those guys. And I knew I wanted to do a story with him, so I'd been calling and trying to find out when he did. He also does did a lot of antique tractors and cars, and he would come up to Westport back when the local antique gas engine club had their shows there, and he'd take a lot of pictures there, but we could never seem to be able to meet. So my youngest son Caleb was playing AAU basketball, and he had a game in Maine, and we went down, and before we went to the tournament, we interviewed Ozzie Sweet.
Neat.
Later on, we interviewed him in Essex County. We went around to where his home was, and all through Elizabethtown, and got his memories there. And we also caught him a couple years later, this time with Gordy Little involved, and we caught him taking pictures of tractors at the county fairgrounds. But for years, when I was insured car insurance through Falquette's Insurance, we used to get these beautiful calendars with old cars on them. And I decided to look at one of those old calendars, and sure enough, we've been looking at Ozzie Sweet calendars for years and didn't even know it.
Oh, interesting. Now, is he still alive?
To the best of my knowledge, he is still alive. I don't think he's in particularly good health. He's in his mid-90s now.
I'm sure you'd have to be.
He'd be in his mid-90s. But it was definitely a great fun.
Good chance here for Elizabethtown. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Number 10, Napper, just wide with a shot, and Elizabethtown is putting on some pressure. Now, whereabouts in Maine was Mr. Sweet? Did he live?
I'm trying to think if it was Orchard Park or Orchard Beach, or
just outside of Portland, then.
Yeah, not too far from Portland.
Okay. Well, that's pretty neat. Elizabethtown getting something going here. They're down 2-0, and they are playing with a little bit of purpose. The last team to beat Chazy here on this field in a league game was Elizabethtown, probably about, and another good shot. Good save by Took. Elizabethtown with plenty of pressure. We have 17:40 left here in the second half. Chazy is up 2-0. And Elizabethtown coming out to play here for about the last 5 minutes or so, creating a couple of good chances. Chazy had some chances early in the second half.
And just one more thing on Ozzie, Joe. As I said, he went to school in Elizabethtown, and one of his good friends was Fred Hooper's father.
Oh, neat. I'm sure Fred met him when he was younger.
I'm sure he did, yeah.
Good.
I don't want to hear it. You can stop. If you need to come out.
16:38 remaining.
Oh, here's Alexis getting top of the box. Oh, that. You got to give McGinn credit. She's keeping the Eagles off the board the second half. Chazy has 22 shots total in the game. Elizabethtown has 4. Elizabethtown with a couple of good chances just a few minutes ago. And number 10, Napper, just went wide with a shot. Excuse me. Napper checking back in the game for the Lions. Coach Decker has to be happy here with what he sees with his team being down only 2-0 and putting together a few chances just for the first half. Whalen blasting a shot that went wide, and here's Napper with a shot. There's a good shot with actually Kirsten Doran getting one off the top of the box. And again with another save. Chazy has controlled vast stretches of this game, but Elizabethtown is not laying down. And that is Cassaval trying to find Morris. And Reynolds coming back to help out in the defensive end from that center halfback position.
I got a correction to make.
Yes.
I also did a show in Florida.
You did. You were actually in Florida. Okay. And what did that consist of?
It was my cousin Beaver Castine, a 1967 graduate of Chazy Central. He lives down there, and we took a tour of the place where he works. They make
nice service from Lauren, trying to find Lapeer. Ooh, and McGinn coming off her line, making a really good save off the foot of Caitlin Lapeer. So go ahead, Calvin, get back to your story.
They make ambulances, and the company's name is Wheeled Coach, and it's a very famous ambulance company. We took a tour of their plant while I was there.
Neat. You know, he worked there himself?
Yeah, as far as I know, he's still there, yeah.
Good. Now, what were you? You just went down for vacation? And
no, it was a Woodman of the World. It was a national delegate from the local lodge, or the jurisdiction, New York, New England jurisdiction. I was representing New York, New England at the Woodman Lodge, Woodman Convention, national convention every 4 years. So we were down there as a delegate, and so well, might as well.
Oh yeah, there it is. That right there was a nice shot.
Yep.
And that will make it 3-0 Chazy. We'll be back in a moment. All right, back to second half action. And as you just heard announced, Caitlin Lapeer scored a goal and a nice shot, unassisted, with about 13:35 left here in the second half, putting Chazy up 3-0 against Elizabethtown. The Lions have been doing a good, really a great job keeping Chazy off the board this whole second half. They had a few chances themselves, so could have made this game interesting if Napper could have maybe put one by Took, or Whalen could have put that shot in at the end of the first half, but Chazy still has a clean sheet here as this game progresses into the final moments. Coach Trombley for the Eagles is going to put all her seniors in that she has. She's going to let them finish it up. That's very, very generous of Coach Trombley. She feels comfortable enough for this game now. And going into it is going to be Katie Tebow, Jury number 11, Jerry Cooper 13, Amanda Osher 17, and Catherine Gravel number 19.
Good job, you guys.
And back to action. Here at the George Brendler Field on senior night, October 21st, 2011. Chazy up 3-0. That was the score of the first game. Ooh, you see that ball just stop there in the slop, and
Was that a save?
more of a stop on its own. I don't know, but they might be credited with a shot on that.
A shot, but
And Took wisely. I think Took's been there enough times too where she knows enough to get out of that slot before she gives a good kick. Because I've actually seen some players embarrass themselves and follow their backside in that mud and get scored on. They learn pretty quick. This is kind of like the old Chazy Field here in the middle. You used to have the Chazy roll up in that one hill.
Yeah.
Now this is the Chazy pit. I guess we're going to start calling this. Just the mud pit. Seems like Chazy has to have some kind of... Well, that's actually a very nice service. And Took doing a good job coming off her line to grab that, not allowing any rebound. Chazy always seems to have some kind of defining feature on their field, and this looks like it is down in this end. The mud pit. And Lapeer doing a good job distributing the ball over to Tebow on this near side. Tebow getting it up to Cooper. Cooper being challenged by 6 Wimet, and it goes off the foot of Cooper, and is going to be an Elizabethtown throw-in. But Coach Decker still has to be happy with his team. I know they're down 3-0 with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left, but they pulled off 6 shots here against the Eagles, and not a bad showing all in all. They've had pressure against Chazy for a few times, especially the second half. They have not quit playing, that is for sure. You're still playing hard, and that is what you look for. Like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they are a young team, the Lions. They don't bring a whole lot of senior experience, so they're going to... Most of these young ladies will be back next season. And by the looks of them, they're going to be good again next season. They're well over 500 for their record. They're 10-5 overall, so with 9:45 left here in the second half, they're still going to keep trying, plugging away, trying to get one against the Eagles, but Eagles pressuring. And Catherine Gavell for the Eagles. Going wide and taken down, and Megan Reynolds coming over to deliver one. They're going to set piece for the Eagles. Let's see how the Lions can defend. I think all the seniors are in for Chazy now. Oh. And Reynolds does kind of miskick that. Maybe she put it on goal. That might have been a little better, but she did miskick it. And those things do happen with a slippery ball. And Miranda Osher sending the ball back in. And kicked downfield by Cassava. Both teams trying to settle it down. And Osher putting a little move on. Getting taken off the ball by Decker and kicked downfield by Reynolds. Up to Lapeer. Lapeer with a clever move against Grady, and Grady giving chase, and Grady does come up with it on the far side. Goes downfield, trying to find Decker. She does, and it does go out of bounds. Going to be a Chazy throw-in. With 8 minutes and 20 seconds left at the George Brendler Field. On a cool, wet summer evening. Chazy more than likely will finish this regular season Northern Soccer League Division II with a clean slate, with no blemishes, no ties, no losses. Their only loss coming earlier in the season in the Chazy tournament against a now depleted, I think, Peru team. They have fallen off on the wayside over the course of the season due to injuries they had sustained early in the season, and during the course of the season they have more injuries, and you get these small schools in this area and you miss a few kids and can really make a difference between success or failure. And they did have high hopes going into the season. I know Peru Indians did, but
they played well last night against Beekmantown, however.
Did they? What was the score of the game?
1-1.
1-1, they did. So maybe they got a few of their girls back then, because they were having some tough times during the middle of the season. I know a girl named Letta was hurt, one of their big players. There's another one. There's another Oliva. She's I don't even know. I don't think she's played at all this season. An Oliva girl.
Letta's on the cross country team.
She is. That's right too. She switched then.
Right.
But an Oliva girl that used to be in the paper all the time, she has not played 1 minute, I don't think, for the Peru Indians. And I doubt she'll be back for the playoffs. I don't know if is there any eligibility requirements for these kids in the playoffs?
Yes. I don't think so.
Don't think so?
As long as you made the practices. And
yes, you have to make the practices. I don't know about games, but I don't think there is any stipulations on that. And Catherine Took delivers a goal kick. She's probably getting a little stiff with some wet and cold soaking through her bones. And Jory Cooper putting some moves on number 6, Limit. And Jory Cooper still with the ball. Trying to service it in the center. Ooh, good shot by Lapeer. Right into the arms of McGinn. And 5 minutes and 34 seconds left in second half action. Chazy up 3-0. And Elizabethtown still playing hard. You gotta like that in a team. Oh, darn. Yeah, your cough drop is working very well, Calvin.
Another one?
No, it's making me cough very well. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. A miserable cold. Throw in for the Eagles. And do you know the reason? I have not found out a reason why they switch these games to 5:30, but I do like it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it a bit. I don't know why, and maybe they'll keep this up. Oh my, that ball stopped. Oh, and a great shot by Cassava. And a really good save by Took. That probably was going to go wide, but and the crowd is cheering. I don't know who they're cheering for, either Took or Cassava, but
both sides cheering.
I would have it to say, because another good chance for Elizabethtown. Oh, if Catherine Gavell can put on some burners here, she can maybe go end line and take it in. And the ball goes off the end line, and it's going to be a kick or a goal kick for Elizabethtown. 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in second half action. Chazy with a 3-0 lead. Both teams getting some decent chances here in the second half, but Chazy getting 1 goal, and Chazy's keeping Elizabethtown off the board, but not for lack of trying. And this is one of the ladies who has been going at it all night, Emily Morris, trying to feed it to Cassava. They have a lot of speed and a lot of heart, those two. I like the way they play. Chazy with a throw-in on the far side. Kempinen still in the game for Chazy, finishing out her regular season career here. All these seniors are on the field for the Eagles. Makes a nice touch. Let them finish. They're actually doing pretty well. Osher in that far side of the defense. T-Bob over here playing well. And Catherine Took giving a little giggle because the ball just stopping.
He's enjoying this too much.
I think so. You only do that when you're young, you know? Or a duck or a dog.
Nice job!
Catherine Gavell with a almost save. It was good hard work. Less than 2 minutes left. And I do hope Miss McGinn for Elizabethtown brought some dry clothes with her. And Chazy once again will have a clean sheet for the regular season. They should be the first seed in the Class D sectional playoffs coming up next week. They more than likely get a first round bye, and then they'll start playing round robins. They'll get 1, maybe 2 games here at home. So it isn't the last game that these girls will be playing here, but the last regular season game for the seniors. And actually for the seniors for Elizabethtown too. It's their last regular season game, even though it is here in Chazy. Reynolds delivering a good corner kick. And with less than a minute left, Calvin, we going to award a Butternut Squash Award tonight? Yeah, I'll even let you pick it. Who would you choose?
I don't really have a candidate.
I'll tell you who I have to choose. I have to do Caitlin Lapeer. Caitlin Lapeer is involved in a couple of goals, scored a great one here in the second half. And just hard work. Megan Reynolds has to be a good runner-up for that one, doing some good work in the middle with Kirsten Dorn. There goes Caitlin Lapeer, doing some good hard work against Whalen, and that's all it's going to take here for this evening, with Chazy winning 3-0 to finish their regular season 12-0. Congratulations to them for winning the division and the first seed in the Section 7 Class D playoffs coming up. My name is Joe Poissant, Calvin Castine on the camera. And on a wet, soggy evening, October 21st, 2011, we're going to sign off with Hometown Cable's That's the Way It Was in beautiful